me, my family, and let's take a look at them. Y'all come on out, let us take a quick look at it. There's Peggy Jean, there's Mary Rogers, there's Henry G. Come on out, take a look. I'll be very brief. I don't want to stand between you and the most exciting man in the world today. This man has changed everything. He's changed everything. And how long have we been looking for someone who says what he means what he says, and says it in words that everybody can understand and will not back down. One more thing, we were on the way at the airport, and we were riding in this big, long limousine, Peggy and I and President Trump. And as we started to make a U-turn, he said, all those people, a lot of young people over there waiting behind the fence that had been cleared to see him. But of course, we were a good ways away out there at the airport. He said, I hate to go by. And those people came to see me. He says, Bobby, would it be all right if we went over there? So the car made a U-turn, came by, the man got up and shook every hand and said, I'm telling you, this man has changed the world already in just 9 months. And ladies and gentlemen, we just getting revved up good. And it started right here in South Carolina when they won that primary. Let's hear it. He was the exciting man in the world. And now he's making us stronger in the world, a better place to live. One and only President, our President, Donald Trump.
So I've known Henry now for quite a while. One of the, maybe just about the earliest supporter. And I loved our Henry. He worked so hard, and Peggy worked so hard. Peggy was all over. She stood foot by foot, and they just went all over South Carolina. And you know, when we came here, we weren't really expected to win, but then we did win New Hampshire and other things, and we was talking about Brian. But this day is special. The people are special. And I loved it. I loved being here. You know, we have a couple of people with us. A very fine person with a very, very powerful voice, Congressman Joe Wilson. Where's Joe? You know what I mean by powerful voice, right? And a friend of mine who really has become a friend. He's become a friend of mine. Where's Lindsay? Where's Lindsay? Where's Lindsay?
Hey Ben.
Thanks. No, we have a lot of friends. They didn't start.
That's my man. That's Donnie T.
She and I, and now I'm telling you, we're working on the taxes together. If we get taxes, there will be no stopping. You know, we've gotten so much. Supreme Court Justice, Judge Gorsuch, and I'll tell you what, Justice Gorsuch is as good as you get. A lot of people realize what it meant, including through your Second Amendment and every other amendment. I think you can probably add them all in there if you get right down to it. Not only the second, but he's doing an incredible job, and we're very happy. We really have a tremendous group of people in Washington, and right now we're really focused on taxes. It's going to be the largest tax, the biggest tax increase we've ever had in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan. And I call it, you know, they like to call it tax reform. I like to call it tax cuts. Because people say to me, well, what does reform mean? A lot of people that aren't into this world, they say, does reform mean you're going to raise our taxes? What does reform mean? Nobody cares about reform. It's very important. It's going to be simplification. It's going to be 4 brackets, including one big one at the very beginning for people that are having a harder time, 0, and that's going to be great. We're lowering the business taxes way down from 25% We're lowering them down from 35%, and really a lot of people are paying, between you add them all up, we're 42, 44%. And then you wonder why they leave the country. And they leave. These companies, they leave the country. We're bringing back probably $3 to $3.5 trillion of money that's parked offshore. They can't get it back in because the taxes are so high, and it's been such a problem. They can't get it back. And the bureaucracy is so incredible. You know, I was just saying before, the 3.5, it could be more. But it used to be, I've been saying 2.5 trillion for so many years. They say, why? It doesn't get bigger? It does, believe me. Apple is owed literally hundreds of millions of dollars they'll be bringing back. But we will bring back, I think, 3.5, could even be more than that, $1 trillion. The Democrats wanted it for years. The Republicans wanted it. Who can be against bringing back money into the country? Everybody agreed, but they could, they just wouldn't get it done. It's not even a question like they didn't agree with each other. They agreed, and they still couldn't get it done because there was nobody to say get it done because nobody cared. Somebody said, why didn't this happen before? How easy is that? We want to bring the money back in, use it in our country, right? And I actually told the reporter, they said, why, sir, didn't this get done? It must be very complicated. I said, no, it's not complicated. Nobody really cared. That's all it is, because that's a simple one, right? That's one of the few. They can argue in healthcare. They can argue in different things. They have different opinions as to what's going on. By the way, we're going to get that done, too. We're going to get that done, too. And that'll be a great one. Lindsay's that's very romanticized for Lindsay. It's called Block Range Back to the States. And he's had a big impact on that, I will tell you. And I think we have the votes. And I think we're going to get the taxes first. And sometime, as soon as we can over the next couple of months, after tax cuts, we'll put that one in. I think we'll get that. We're going to do a fantastic bill on economic development for our country, where we're going to have a lot of work in this country. We're going to do an infrastructure bill. Those are easy ones, by the way, I have to tell you. The infrastructure bill, I'll have more Democrats voting than Republicans. Those are easy ones. But we have to get the taxes done. So I know Tim is great. I know Lindsay's great. You don't have to bother too much with them. But keep calling anyway, just in case. We've had some people change their minds. We've had people change their minds. You saw that with the healthcare. We said, oh, good, we won. And then all of a sudden we find out, guess what? We're back to the drawing boards, right? But it's going to be great. I want to just tell you that the country is really doing well. We talk often about the fake news media. They are fake. You know what? The people all over the country understand. I mean, they really are not truthful. And you have some wonderful reporters, you have some wonderful journalists, but you have many more that are just really very despicable in so many different ways. And they'll take a story. And a lot of people, a lot of you understand, I know a lot of you, some really successful people, some incredible people that have been friends of mine for a long time in the audience, and you sort of understand, but I really understand, because it's a story about me. And I know when I'm right and wrong. I know when I'm doing good. I know when I'm doing bad. I know when I should be slapped in a bad, article or story. But I also know when I do great things. And I also know when they know that we did great things and they make it look as negative as possible. And you really have to bucket. The problem is a lot of people don't know that. They pick up a story. But amazingly, if you look at their popularity or their approval ratings, I mean, they have gone down like a very bad sinking ship. Really like a sinking ship. But here's the story. So today, again, for the 49th time or something, we hit the highest stock market price in history. We gained, not only in terms of percentage increase, but in terms of real money, $5.2 trillion as of this moment. It's actually now more than that. A big gain today, I think, right? Yeah. Look at the folks in the stock market. Everybody has to stop, and you're watching your portfolios grow and grow and grow, and mine stays the same because I'm not allowed to partake. That's okay. But you know what? We've gained, $5.2 trillion. And that's, I believe, that estimate is from January 1st. But really, this started on November 8th because that's when the market started to rocket. Because people were really heavy. Remember the first night when we won and everybody was so, they said, the winner is Donald Trump. And they would, the anchors were crying. never forget that big, beautiful map on CNN, which was so apostolized. And John King, he's actually a nice guy, and he's good with the map, but he's going, all right? Oh my God, oh, wait a minute. Wisconsin has gone before. I mean, we already knew about South Carolina, in all fairness. North Carolina. That's right. That is right. The ladies who lunch up front, right? They call them the ladies who dine but don't eat. That's why this is. But North Carolina was so great, and Pennsylvania and Florida. You know, we did a run. Remember they said, "There's no way to 270. You need 270." They said, "There is no way to 270," and they were right. 306 we got. We went up to Maine. You know, Maine had one left. We needed the one left. And Maine had the one, and we had to get one. It was called One. And I went up there, which I love because I think Maine's a great place, but I went up there 4 times because I had to get the one. And we got it. But you look at what's going on. So $5.2 trillion in value. Now we owe $20 trillion. So if you think about it, if you're like a real estate developer, you say, well, let's see, if I picked up $5.2 trillion in the stock market, right? Pick up $5.2 trillion, and that's just, honestly, the stock market is big stuff, but that's peanuts compared to other things we have. We don't think about it. I guarantee you we have more than the entire 20 trillion, if you look at it. We have it covered many times over because we've increased the values in this country by so much. And we've done that from really November 8th forward. Now, if you remember the night they announced me, and the stock market went down like 800 points. You remember that? People forget. Now I talk about it. And then I made a speech and it went up more than 800 points. It was like they felt good. They said, "Oh, he's actually very good." I don't know what they were watching. What were they watching for the last year before that? Right? They were watching Crooked Hillary. Right? So Hillary today, I don't know if you heard this. This is to me hard to believe. She came out in favor of the NFL players kneeling. Favor of people protesting if they want to protest, but you know what? You don't protest during our national anthem. And they asked me in the conference, they said, "So what do you think of that?" I said, "Now I know why she lost, okay? Because bad judgment, but it's also wrong, and it's wrong to be doing that." And we took it up very strongly, and we feel very strongly about it. And it's really set us on the right path. And even though I noticed there were a couple of guys still kneeling, and the NFL, what they should do, you fine them. Well, first of all, a lot of people aren't watching the NFL now. A lot of people aren't watching, and it's actually sad. All they have to do is say, you do the kneel, you're out for 1 game, right?
Yeah.
You do another kneel, you got 2 games. You do another one, you're out for 3 games. If you do another one, you're gone for the season. I guarantee you, the kneeling's going to stop. And they have the right to do it. I don't know what's wrong with the commissioner, why he doesn't do this. Because the people of this country do not want to see disrespect for our flag, our anthem, and our country itself. Now, if I heard Henry McMaster was opposed to that view, then I probably have to take away my endorsement. But anyway, so the country is doing well. We have a long way to go. You know, what people don't realize, I came in, and you see some of the GDP numbers. We're at 1.2%, we were at low. And I'd speak to foreign, I actually, believe it or not, get along very well with almost all of the foreign leaders. And you talk to them, how are you doing? Not well at all. These are monster countries that nobody really even knows about. You know how many people you have? 140 million people. I said, it's a big country, 140. I said, but how are you doing? He goes, no, not well. I said, why aren't you doing well? What's wrong? GDP down to 7%. 7! I said, we're at 1. And they're unhappy. And we're like, oh, everything's wonderful. Didn't Obama do a great job, right? in history. The worst recovery in the history of our country. But now we're making up for lost time. That I can tell you. But it is amazing. And then I hear, but the United States is so big that we can't get up to those numbers. So I meet with Modi, Prime Minister of India. I say, how many people do you have? 1.5 billion. That's a big country. How are you doing with GDP? Close to 8%. We are extremely unhappy. I said, wait a minute. I hear the United States is so big, we can't go up in those numbers. You got 1.5 billion people. And China's at 7 or 8%, almost always. And I say, why are we at 1%? So each point is the equivalent of $2.5 trillion. In other words, if we have 1 point, it picks up for the entire tax cut plus. And we'll do that. So last quarter, we were at 3.2%. In fact, remember it came out at 3%. Then they reluctantly raised, because we still have some holdovers, they reluctantly raised it 3.1. Then they really finalized it out at 3.2. So we were at 3.2. And this quarter, I thought would even be better, but we got hit with some hurricanes. Did anybody hear that? No, I don't think so. Got hit with a few rather vicious hurricanes, so that could have a little impact. But we're going to have a very good quarter anyway. We're probably maybe 0.5%, so who knows? It gets hit. But we will be hit by the hurricanes. But we are doing great. We are doing great. But how we're really going to rock it is with the tax cuts. And if we do, and reform, but with the tax cuts. If we do the tax cuts, many of you will be doing your tax return on one piece of paper. Just one No more hiring H&R Block. How much is that? $750. Oh, great. It took you 10 minutes. That's a pretty good business. Now, the only company that will not like us is H&R Block. They're not thrilled. They're not going to be thrilled. But I will say that we have such potential in our country. We've ordered now, as you know, close to $800 billion for the military, the budget. And when have we needed it much more? We've had times, I can't say it's the most, we did have World War I and World War II, and we had a lot of things, but we need military. We have to take care of our military, and we are really taking care of our military. And again, we're close to $800 billion worth of military budgets, and a lot of that's new equipment, new ships, and new everything. And this is a very military area. That's why they said, I don't know if Trump can win. It's military. I said, wait a minute, military? I'm going to get all the military. They said, well, he's very close to Bush. And I said, oh, that's good. But I think, did we get the military or what? And we were won by a massive amount, and they just went on from there. But South Carolina was so important to me. And the other thing we're taking care of, because I was here and very strongly talked about it here because of the big military importance. But the thing that's very important is the vets. And we have done an amazing thing. Hopefully, we're only in that 9 months, right? We're in 9 months. And we have done so much, like accountability. So the VA accountability, now you couldn't get it passed. They could not, under any circumstances, get it passed. And I got it passed. So important. The accountability, and when they talk about legislature, they say, well, Trump hasn't done anything with the legislature. We got 51 bills, or more than that now, passed. And we're only here, so we're here 9 months. I said it today, it was very interesting. I said, look, we're here 9 months. We almost got health care. We actually had it, and then one person voted against it. I don't know who, I can't think of the name. That was a little bit of a... I said, this can only happen to me. Here we go, let's go. Back to the drawing boards, but I think we'll get actually a better, because of it, I think we're going to actually end up with a better health. We're going to do the block grants ultimately. And right now, the CSRs, hundreds of millions of dollars being paid as really, I want to use a horrible word, but let's say it's a subsidy to the insurance companies. Let's say it's a giveaway to the insurance companies, throwing money into the pockets of the insurance companies. Any insurance executives here? Because you're not going to vote for them. But the Democrats, you take a look at the campaign contributions they get from the insurance companies. You just have to see this. So it's called CSR payments. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, right? It's hundreds of billions of dollars paid a month. And it goes into the pockets of the insurance companies. I said, I'm not going to pay it. And people get it. I immediately know, they say, oh, you take it away from poor people. You take it. And because I did that, the Democrats called and they want to negotiate a deal, and we'll negotiate. But I have a feeling it's going to be a short deal because ultimately we're going to do Lindsay's deal, Lindsay and Bill, right? We're going to do that. I really do like the idea of, block granting it back to the states. The states will run it better. It's a smaller government. We have to focus on North Korea. We have to focus on Iran. We have to focus on the Middle East. Somebody got us into the Middle East. Okay, I won't get into who got us in, but we got into the Middle East. What a mess! I inherited the worst mess you've ever seen in so many different ways. But step by step, we are taking care of it. You see it. But we are indeed taking care of it, and it's going to get better, and it's going to get bigger, and we're going to be more and more beautiful. And I just want to tell you, this state, I met with Boeing today, I met with Samsung, and actually Samsung, where are the Samsung people? Where are they? They were here. There they are. What are you doing in the back? That's amazing. But the Samsung people, they're great. It's a great company. I have a lot of Samsung television sets that I've ordered over the years, thousands. And they make a great product, but they were worried about tax. I said, no, build here, you have no tax. Build and think you're going to sell it into our, eventually we're going to have a little bit of a interesting skirmish going on. But build here and you have no tax. In other words, you build your product, whether it's washing machines, and they make good washing machines, got to build them here. And there's no tax. And they said, I like that. But that's the way it is. You make your cars here, there's not going to be a tax. We're not going to have taxes when they create jobs in the United States. But for years and years and years, inconceivable what was going on, where companies are moving out, whether it's to Mexico or other places, firing everybody, making product, and just selling it right across the border like they never even moved, except they fired all of those thousands and thousands and actually millions and millions of people. And then you see these empty factories, empty plants all over the country, and it's a disgrace. And those days are over. Now we have car companies moving back. Did you see Toyota announced, and a lot of them announced that they're coming back into the country. And honestly, whether it's, and I know you have a great BMW plant, great. And whether it's in South Carolina or Michigan, or just as long as they're in, and you know what? You negotiate against them, have competition. We just want them, we want them in our country. We don't want to have them outside of our country taking advantage of us like what happened for years. So we have tremendous things going on. Companies are coming back. Jobs, frankly, jobs with the unemployment rate the lowest in almost 17 years. As I said, we need to have and train more people because we're going to have a lot of jobs that are already happening. Foxconn, they make the iPhones for Apple. They're building a massive plant in, as you know, Wisconsin. You've heard about it. These are seriously big plants with thousands of people that are going to be trained. And Apple's going to come in. I said to the head of Apple, a very good guy, Tim Cook, I said, Tim, I want some of those plants that you're building in China. I want some of those plants built here. And they're going to do that. They're going to do it. So we have a lot of great things happening, a lot of great stories. I want to just say about Governor McMaster, because, we have... Medic, are you okay?
Back up.
Can we get a medic? Yeah.
Let me through.
Take your time.
Let me through.
You have a doctor?
I got a
Doctor. Have it? Good. Thank you. Go ahead, take your time. Take your time, Doc.
Y'all step back.
He's looking good, I hope. He's looking good. Thumbs up. Those are the people we love, right?